Thank you so much, Vanya. Thank you all for being here today with us, talking about all of these amazing things. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my journey towards a sustainable future and show you my point of view of how green chemistry, circularity, the UN SDGs, and education, they connect, and how we can work together to achieve a sustainable future. So this is me, very important information. I have 2 dogs, and I discovered green chemistry in 2013 whenever I was reading a book about environmental chemistry, and I just fell in love with the idea and how I could save the world with chemistry. So I did my bachelor's trying to valorize silver residues, and then I did my master's using renewable substrates to treat formaldehyde solutions. Then I came to Canada to do my PhD, and I worked with, as Vanya mentioned, a material called biochar, and tried to use biochar for a lot of different things. And I did my postdoc also in renewable feedstocks, but applying a little bit of mechanochemistry. And throughout all of this time, I was very concerned about how the chemists needed these skills for a sustainable future, and how I could help in that sense. So I don't know if you've ever came to that situation, but something that annoyed me very much whenever I told people that I was a chemist is that I would get some questions back. So people would ask me if I exploded things. They would ask me if I was just like the Breaking Bad guy and produce drugs and everything, or they would just look at my face and don't say anything. So I think we can all agree that the general public has a negative view of chemistry, and there's even a term for this called chemophobia. And you can even find on shelves, if you look for it, like products that are 100% chemical free, and we all know that's impossible because everything around us is a chemical. So to me, when I discovered green chemistry, it really meant to me a way to change the negative view that the public had, and actually show them how chemistry can be applied for good things. So Vanya mentioned this already, so I'm just going to go through very quickly. But green chemistry was defined as the design of processes and products that minimize or eliminate the use and generation of hazardous substances. Also, people think that green chemistry is more expensive, but we try to explain that you don't have to deal with the waste that's generated. And here we kind of start the connection with circular chemistry. And also, green chemistry is increasing marketing size. So the idea is that whenever you have a risk of something going wrong in the lab or in the industry, this risk is usually associated with the hazard that the thing you're dealing with has, and also to the exposure that you have to that thing. So usually we minimize the risk by minimizing the exposure. So we use lab coats, goggles, and gloves to do so, but actually the green chemistry approach is to minimize the risk by minimizing the hazard. So even when the exposure fails, so even when I have a leakage, a spill, or an accident, the risk of something going wrong is low because the hazard is low. Green chemistry is also a very important tool for us to achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. You've seen them on Chris' slide, but the idea is that the United Nations, they created this framework in 2015 to actually promote a just and peaceful future for all of us. So I also see green chemistry having a connection there. And also, Chris explained it beautifully, way more than I'm going to do so. But like in moving towards a circular economy, we're actually in a very linear process of our chemical sector. We're using finite resources to do to make the molecules do what we want. We use highly reactive reagents, and at the end we have this waste that's going to end up in a landfill, that's going to be incinerated, or is going to end up in our environment. And we really need to think about moving towards a circular economy, using renewable feedstocks, using catalysts or benign species to promote our reactions, and at the end, rethink what waste means and actually have waste as a feedstock for us to continue this process. So the way I see is that the green and sustainable chemistry, they can interconnect all of these different aspects of our society, and they are a very important tool for us to achieve a circular economy and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, the UN SDGs, at this very molecular level, at this benign by design level. So from now on, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the way I see green chemistry connecting to the UN SDGs. And I'm going to talk a little bit about responsible and sustainable design for green chemistry. So life examples. Whenever I was doing my PhD in biochar and using biochar for different things, one of my goals was actually to use biochar as an additive for polymers and trying to make these polymers with different strengths and trying to make them different. And things that I was investigating whenever I was doing this project include like the solubility of these polymers, melting point, polydispersity, tensile strength, modules, crystallinity, molecular weight. And I was also worried with the toxicity of those polymers that I was making, and also the environmental impact. When this ends up somewhere, what this material is going to do. So I'm saying this because often chemists are not told the power that we have, and we do have the power to design for sustainability. So whenever we are creating a product, we can address pollution at the very beginning of the design stages. We can think about how this product is made, from what, is it going to generate any byproducts, co-products, and especially what's going to end up after this product is created. So the end of life. And I think we need to embrace that. I think we need to embrace the power of this smart molecular design and be responsible for the process and products that we create and their relationship with human health and also the environment. So this is something that industry is also changing. So here I added a quote from Jeffrey Whitford from Millipore Sigma. And he says it very nicely how we need students not only with the tools to solve the technical challenges, but also to address environmental impact simultaneously. And we also see a lot of industries supporting the green chemistry education and supporting chemists to actually take control of this responsibility. And we think that this could be done by green chemistry education. So I really like this report that I have some results here. So this is the Green Shoots report published by the Royal Society of Chemistry. And they surveyed a lot of young people and trying to get their connection and what were their thoughts about sustainability. And I think it's really interesting that young chemists, the young people, they are expected to be educated about sustainability. And I really like this quote: if I don't know what's happening, then how am I supposed to do anything about it? And they also think that schools, colleges, and universities, they have the biggest responsibility to teach them about sustainability. This is really interesting because they want it and they expect us in terms of universities and education institutions to actually teach them about that. So besides being a common sense, I'd say also green chemistry is a requirement now if you're an institution in the US, and if you want to get an American Chemical Society approval, because since last year, they included green chemistry as a critical requirement for undergraduate programs in their guidelines. So now if you see the critical requirement of the coursework, the curriculum must provide students with a working knowledge of the 12 principles of green chemistry if these institutions want to get this approval. So at least in the US, we're seeing a growth in demand, growing demand for green chemistry education, and we hope that this can spread out and more institutions come aboard. But we know that nothing is simple in life, especially when you're trying to do something different that's like different. So what we see at Beyond the Nine is that there are a lot of barriers for implementing green chemistry into the curriculum of universities. And these could be associated with the lack of expertise and training of faculty members, can also be associated with the lack of incentive and the departmental resources, or even the lack of curriculum resources. And what we really say and what we're trying to do here is actually, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We really want people to teach chemistry through the lens of green chemistry. So we want to help chemists and educators and the community to go through this green chemistry incorporation hill and really try to add green chemistry into the chemistry subjects that we have. So I'm going to go now into the quality education, go and see how the nonprofit organization that I'm working for, called Beyond the Nine, we're trying to achieve this specific goal. So to try to overcome the barriers that I mentioned before, Beyond Benign was created. So Dr. Amy Cannon, which is the first human being to have a green chemistry PhD in the world, and Dr. John Warner, who helped to co-found the 12 Principles of Green Chemistry, they created this nonprofit that the ultimate goal is to try and incorporate green chemistry in education. So whenever the scientists or citizens, they are ready to go out there and do their own thing in the world, they are thinking about sustainability. They are thinking for a sustainable future. So we know that this is a big task. So we collaborate with a lot of industry partners, universities, and also nonprofits around the world. And we do see a world in the future where all of the chemical building blocks of the products, they are safe for human health and the environment. And we believe that education is the way to go. We believe that empowering educators to transform chemistry education is how we create this long and systemic change for a sustainable future. So Beyond Benign also wants to work as this link between different educational approaches and support and empower this connection between research, education, and also service, so we can achieve a more sustainable future. So this is what we do, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the program that I work for, which is called the Green Chemistry Commitment. And I know that the commitment word can be very strong, but I believe that we are in a situation in our lives and in our society that we need strong actions. So the Green Chemistry Commitment was officially launched in 2013. We had 13 universities participating, and now we have 152 signers from 62 countries. So the program is growing, but I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what the program is. So the way I see the commitment is actually a collective voice to empower and prepare chemists for a sustainable future through chemistry. So any higher education in the world can participate. And what we see is a commitment to continue improvement, to add sustainability and green chemistry into their courses. So the students know what to do and know how to act for a sustainable future after they graduate. So it's a volunteer and very diverse program. No one's going to tell you, you need to sign the commitment. It's very volunteer. Institutions participate if they want. And we see this as a way to increase the accessibility of green chemistry around the world, and also inspire other institutions, other people, other faculty to start incorporating green chemistry, start to think about sustainability. And we do have a framework of, like, for institutions that are not aware or don't know how to start this implementation, which I call the 4 pillars of the GCC. And these are based in that we think that the chemists, they need to know having a working knowledge of the 12 principles of chemistry. They should be able to assess chemical process products and also design greener alternatives when necessary. They need to know how chemicals, they can affect human health and the environment, and a little bit of toxicology. And also, at the end, they need to be able to apply these skills and serve society as informed citizens and also as informed scientists to continue this journey. So in terms of impact, the Green Chemistry Program, as I mentioned, we have 152 higher education institutions worldwide, and we estimate that we reach over 3,300 faculty in the community and over 140,000 students every year. And how Beyond Benign is supporting these institutions is through professional development, leadership, and also funding opportunities to support the adoption of green chemistry in the curriculum of these participating institutions. So this is a map of where our institutions are located. As you can see, a lot of them are in the United States. And this was because Beyond Benign had an office there. This is where everything started. But as we go, as we move along, we really want to increase the diversity of universities participating, and we really want everyone on board to make this change. So every year we organize an annual survey impact to see how we can better support the community and how the green chemistry implementation is going around the world, so we can do something about it. So we noticed that last year, signing the GCC was associated with a reduction of waste generation, but also an increase in green chemistry teaching practices, not only in the chemistry department, but also the adoption of broader sustainable actions at those institutions. So we see that this is growing from the chemistry department, which is really important. So I have here the link for the annual impact report. If you want to read a little bit about the effect of the green chemistry commitment in institutions, you're welcome to do so. And these are this is my point of view and how I see the green chemistry commitment benefiting different institutions. So if your institution is worried about savings, green chemistry can help in that implementation, because by applying green chemistry, you can reduce chemical purchasing, energy consumption, waste disposal in teaching and also research labs. Also, we see a lot of safety improvements for faculty, staff, and students within the institution when they start applying green chemistry. The commitment can also serve as an encouragement of other faculty departments and students to incorporate green chemistry, to create their own green chemistry groups. And I think which is the most important benefit of implementing green chemistry in higher education, of teaching students about sustainability, which is having this future workforce ready to tackle our global environmental challenges. So this is a little bit about the GCC, and then I'm going to enter also a little bit on the relationship between green chemistry and gender equality, which is something that I think is really important. And the UN SDG number 7 is a barrier to the implementation of sustainable development, because it is a knowledge as central and has the potential to compromise all of the other 17 if not achieved. So I think we can all agree that the contributions of women in socioeconomic and environmental systems are crucial, and women are also important agents of change for us to achieve a sustainable future. But it's kind of interesting because women are this agents of change for a sustainable future, and if we don't achieve the UN SDG number 5, we can also not achieve the other ones. Check. But women are also more exposed, affected, and impacted by the consequences of climate change and pollution. But whenever it comes time to build the solutions, women are excluded because of the continued lack of gender equity that exists everywhere today. So it's kind of interesting because in the Rio Declaration on Environment and Development, and this happened in 1992, and that was a United Nations event. It was stated that women, they have a vital role in environmental management and development, and their full participation is essential to achieve a sustainable development. I think we all can agree that after 32 years, we're still struggling with that, and the role of women as agents of systemic change still needs to be recognized, acknowledged, and amplified. So I was really happy to help discuss a little bit of this in this paper that was launched in 2022. So if you have any curiosity to learn more about women as agents of change for a sustainable future, you can check this paper out. But it's just a call for action in terms of the role of women in the sustainable future, and this very interesting role that women, especially in the green chemistry realm, they have. So last but not least, I'm going to talk a little bit about my favorite sustainable development goal, which is partnerships for the goals, and how we can collaborate to work together to achieve sustainability. So another initiative that Beyond Benign has to actually promote green chemistry in partnerships, it's called the Green Chemistry Teaching and Learning Community, and it's abbreviated by GCTLC. And it was an initiative created between Beyond Benign and the American Chemical Society Green Chemistry Institute, which is the ACS-GCI. And the idea is to actually have this online hub, this virtual platform where the green chemistry community can connect, can share, learn, and also grow. So the platform was launched in 2023. I have here a QR code with the link that if you want to register and participate. And it's really a place where you can all connect and start doing things for a more sustainable future. So if you want to connect online, please be part of the GCTLC. We have a lot of resources for green chemistry. If you want to upload your resources, if you want to comment someone else's resources, if you want to create a group and start talking about things to collaborate, this is your place. So, and the last thing that I wanted to talk is that I talked about women in green chemistry. I talked about the different sustainability approaches. I talked about green chemistry commitment. So the way I see is that actually achieving a sustainable future, we need to advocate and support scientists from all backgrounds and all parts of the world. We have a diversity of scientists. We have a diversity of sustainability approaches, as you might have seen from this webinar. And the inclusion of all of these people, approaches, and all of that community is the powerful force we need to achieve the sustainable world we seek. So I believe we can all work together to achieve this, and I'm really excited to do so. This is my life goal, so I'm happy to be able to collaborate in any sense. And this is it. This is my presentation. I'd like to acknowledge the Sustainability and Circularity Now team, and also the PM team, especially Dr. Sarkar. He's in the background running everything, making sure everything works perfectly. So thank you so much. I also like to acknowledge our institutions participating of the Green Chemistry Commitment program. They are amazing. The people we work are amazing, and this gives us strength to keep going. Also, the team members at Beyond Benign, our Green Chemistry community, and all of you speakers, Vanya, Chris, Anand, and Kathleen that's in the back that are organizing this event and for inviting me. This is the QR code if you want to reach out to me. Also, I didn't mention I have a X, former Twitter account. I'm also on LinkedIn. So if you have any questions about anything that I said, please feel free to reach out. If you want to discuss anything related to responsibility, to sustainability, I'm there. I'm free to be reached out. And I just wanted to thank all of our partners that are making us to continue our work at Beyond Benign. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. That's it.